To turn now to tech and cybersecurity expert Ritesh Kotak with more. He's in Toronto. Ritesh, so we've got partners here, Canada, the UK, the US, all condemning these attacks against really important work, looking for a cure or some sort of vaccine, I should call it, for this virus. What is your reaction to this breaking news?
So my reaction is I'm actually not that surprised that any group is trying to hack into these systems. It's inevitable. Like, this is the new race to develop a vaccine. And with the fact that we live in such a global world and everything is interconnected, we knew that there was going to be at some point cybersecurity concerns when it came to the research and the sharing of information with respect to the development of a COVID-19 vaccine. There were other reports that were put out earlier of potential threats against research and ways to protect yourself. So it's nothing new, but the fact that they were actually able to point it to somebody and have some concrete examples and collaborate and put out this much detail, that to me is unprecedented, but also a breath of fresh air.
We'll talk about the safeguards in just a second, but I think you raise a really interesting point. Countries around the world are in this race to come up with a vaccine. Lots and lots of money has been spent. Scientists are staying up, all night trying to come up with something. And everybody wants to be the first to develop that vaccine sooner rather than later. That information, how well protected is it? Whatever the scientists have come up with.
That is a great question. And the issue here is that there's numerous systems and numerous people that are involved. And also the elephant in the room is the fact that everyone now is working remotely. So these scientists, a lot of them might be doing their research from their own homes. So that also has increased the potential of potential cybersecurity breaches. When you have individuals that are connecting from home, when you have them connecting via VPNs, or in some cases not even via VPNs, which are virtual private networks that encrypt traffic, this is the type of issue that happens. The other thing is there was also a rush to go remote when COVID-19 happened. And I always say, like, we practice fire drills, but we haven't really practiced cyber drills and what to do if there's a breach and how do you protect yourself. We've been very reactive, not proactive, and that has probably led to increase in potential breaches and exploits.
So, Ritesh, what does it mean to you that the government was able to catch this, and how difficult would that have been, and what sort of red flag would have gone up for them to even pursue this possibility that they were being hacked?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that the governments would have been doing. The first thing is looking for anomalies in IP logs. So, for example, if your access is based in Canada and all of a sudden you have IP addresses coming in from all over the world, they wouldn't necessarily be Russian because they use proxy servers and their own VPNs to bounce the traffic, but they would be looking for those type of anomalies. They'd be looking at dates, times, also what type of data was accessed, where that data was being sent to. It is extremely complex investigation. There's usually forensic examiners that are involved. There's logs that get reviewed. There's people that get interviewed. And then based on that and the type of information that they're able to find, they're able to draw some sort of conclusion that A, this is a breach, and B, it's most likely Russian.
And on that note, Ritesh, if Russia denies it, then what? Are there any consequences here?
So again, no one admits to a cyber breach, and we've seen this historically. And I guess one of the big issues is you can hide behind a computer, you can mask your address. It's really hard to put somebody behind a monitor and a keyboard. So that's number one. But I think that again, if there's three major agencies coming out and saying that it's potentially a Russian breach and they have evidence, I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of repercussions that might come out of this.
Ritesh Kotak, he's a tech expert. Ritesh, so glad you were able to join us and give us your thoughts on this breaking news and reacting so quickly.